Oh, okay. Now the mic's on. Hello, everybody. How are you guys tonight? Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. Hope you had a great weekend. And whoops, my monitor just went off, but there it's back again. So, yeah, we knock on wood or knock on my hand that I don't get any technical problems tonight. How is everybody? How are you all doing? Hope you guys are having a great evening. Boy, there's a lot of big news coming around, so let's get started right away. But let's do some quick shout outs tonight. Let's see. We got Judy Hebert here. Hello, Judy. And Donna Hoskins is saying, hey, hey, hey. Linda Faust is here. She's saying hello, Eric and everyone. Hello, Linda. And Steve Norma Kaufman is here. She's saying hello, hello. And June Hansen is saying hello to everyone. Hello, June. Barb McKinley, she's saying hi to everyone. And we also got the Irish Sail Lady. Good evening, Eric, and all in the chat. Hope everyone is well. I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing good too. Suzanne Taylor is here. Hello, Suzanne. Katie Crafts is here. Hello, Katie. How you doing? And guess who it is? It's Miss Nancy. How you doing, girl? Gayla Walters is saying good evening. And Kimber says, got the notification late. Sorry, I was a little late in posting the notification, and I know the system took time to push it out to everyone, so I apologize for that. But glad you made it here, Kim. Sandy Adger is here saying good evening, Treasure Heart creators. Hello, Sandy. And Pearl Medina, how you doing, girl? From Moreno Valley, California. She's saying hello to everyone. Okay. And Marie Mitchell is also here. She's saying hello. Jackie, how you doing, girl? Nice to see you here tonight. Okay. So I see that people are getting the hang of this. They're doing exclamation project, and yeah, would you believe that I actually ran out of string blocks? So I guess it's time to make more string blocks because I have a project that I have in mind that I want to get started on. So we're making strings tonight. Okay. Okay, and then okay, I put the bot in there. So here's what I want to ask everyone, and I thought she was over 1,000 subscribers, but when I was watching her earlier today, and some of you guys were in the chat room, I saw that she's just under, she's about 900, at about 900 subscribers. So here's what I want everyone to do. If you're not already a subscriber of Miss Stephanie Harris, she is Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. If you type in exclamation Sassy Steph, you'll get a link to her channel. Please, please, please go and support her. She is a wonderful person. I know she does lives. She's on the East Coast, so she does lives early in the afternoon. And she does, she does a lot to actually help a lot of other smaller YouTubers. So I think for us, we need to send her back some love. So if you type it in, I'll type it in again. If you go exclamation Sassy Steph, please, 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 if you haven't subscribed to her channel, please do. I'm sure she would greatly appreciate it. She's a great friend, a great YouTuber of mine. So, and when I used to do the Zooms every once in a while or every month, she used to come on, and yeah, she's a very nice, pleasant person. I know she struggled with some things, but she's back. So let's all support each other in this endeavor, and I would appreciate you guys showing her some love. So yeah, that's Stephanie Harris, Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. I don't know if she's actually here. I didn't see her name, but guys, help her out. Help a sister out. Thank you, guys. And so Okay, and the other thing people are already answering. If you type in exclamation question, I see Nancy already did that. Question of the video. Have you heard that Joann's is filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Now, the bankruptcy filing has not been fully approved. I believe there is a hearing coming up soon. So, yeah, a lot of us suspected that this was going to happen, and it is. So, here's the question. Now, let me kind of explain something, because a lot of people think that when businesses file for bankruptcy, there's different types of bankruptcies. There's the Chapter 11, which is what Joann's is doing. And then there's the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which are, although they call it bankruptcy, they're actually two different things. And so when a business does a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, that doesn't necessarily mean they're closing all their stores and they're closing up shop and the business is going out. It's actually just protection so that the business has a little bit of time to reorganize themselves and see if they can get back on their feet. And if they don't, well, then they go and they close the stores. So Chapter 11 bankruptcy means that Joann's is asking for some protection, and they're going to try and give it a go to turn things around. But if they don't turn things around, then yeah, they're in trouble. But Chapter 11 bankruptcy usually is a bad sign. Let's just say that. Now, if you remember, for example, JCPenney's for those of you that, well, I think most of us were around during those times. JCPenney's filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. There's still a few stores that are open and they are making it. So they're not totally gone, but JCPenney's was one of the big department stores back in the day, along with Sears. And, well, now it's Macy's. I forgot what it was before, but yeah. How do you guys feel about Joann's? Do you think they're going to survive, or do you think they're headed down, or are they on their way out? A lot of people believe that they are on their way out, but I don't know. I see them making the right changes to certain stores, so who knows? They might be around. Donna Hoffler says, I knew about Joann's a couple months ago. They finally filed for protection from bankruptcy. They have been having big sales and closing stores all over. Yep, that's part of their filing. So that's part of their strategy of just surviving. Sandy Adger says, I read an article about Joann's filing bankruptcy. Yep. A lot of news stations like CNN picked up on that, and well, who knows? Is Michael's next, or is maybe Hobby Lobby? I mean, I know there's a lot of problems within each of these businesses. June Hansen says, yes, I read that Joann's too. Hello, Miss Remo. How you doing, girl? And Sandy says, Eric, we could send you some strings. No shortage of that right now. Actually, there's this bin. There's another bin somewhere over there for strings. So don't have a shortage of them, but I just need to sew them together. Kim Burr says, I heard about Joann's a while back, really hoping they turn things around. Several stores have closed, but not the one by me. Okay. Yeah, we had a few stores here in Southern California that actually did shut its doors. But they have one humongous flagship store nearby that is still going strong. So it's about a Costco size craft store. Yep. Hello, Donna. Oh, she's saying hello. Or maybe we already said hello. Sorry. Let's see. Katie Kraft says, went to Joann's today. Was kind of crazy with more customers, but still too few workers. Yeah, that's been a problem with a lot of craft stores I've noticed, especially around here locally. And Mary Saint Edmond, aloha. Aloha, aloha. Thanks for joining here tonight. And Vera Weeks is saying hello from Texas. We got Joyce Hernandez saying hello. Hello, Joyce. And let's see, Janice Miller I saw here. Sorry, the chat just jumped on me. And hello, Miss Sheila. How you doing, girl? We got Jim Bennett saying hello and thumbs up. Thank you, Jim. And Bonnie Dieger. Hello, Bonnie. How are you? Glad you made it here tonight. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about Joann's? I mean, do you think they're going to be around much longer? Or do you think, I mean, honestly, I hope that they do kind of come out of this or turn things around, because I would hate to see another craft store go under. I mean, they're dwindling as it is, so. Let's see. Yes, Donna, glad to see that Stephanie is back. Thank you. So, again, for those of you that came in a little late, if you could do me a favor and help a sister out, because Stephanie Harris, she has her YouTube channel called Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. And if you type in exclamation Sassy Steph, you'll get a link to her channel. And if you're not a subscriber, please help a sister out and subscribe to her channel, because she's very close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So let's push her over the edge. All right. I love how the quilting community supports each other. That's Vera Weeks. Yes, we do. We try to support each other because we know the struggle of being on YouTube. Okay. And Jackie said, local news said it is for reorganization. Yep. So Joann's is trying to reorganize their business. It's a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is different from a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, in which a Chapter 11 does give the business some opportunity to try and figure out things and turn things around, see if they can start making a profit. And Bonnie Dieger says, yes, she heard it yesterday. Barb McKinley says that she hopes they keep going. I do too. I really do too. And Bonnie Dieger says, if they make some changes, I think they can still make it. You know, I think they're going to make the right changes, because I do see some things that they're doing to one of the stores here, in which they are taking out a lot of the inventory that nobody buys and just kind of marking those down. And I think they might be getting some new stuff in. Well, in terms of fabrics, though, they still have to overhaul that, because there's a lot of, I see a lot of fleece, I see a lot of novelty team sports type of things, and I don't know, maybe that's just left over because everybody else buys everything, or everyone buys everything else except that. So maybe that's just leftovers. I don't know. But, you know, honestly, I just hope that Joann's just comes out in a positive light throughout all of this. Nancy, guess who Nancy says, we have been shopping our stash too much, but if they bring prices back down, we could afford to buy. That's true. That is true. But it's not just with fabrics or crafting supplies. I think it's just everyone all around. You know, prices have gone up, and that's sad to see. Donna Hoffler says, if people would store, shop, and not do online all the time, they might make it. Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, Joann still has to compete with people like Amazon, even eBay. They still have not just their own niche to compete in, but they just have to compete with Amazon, Walmart, all these bigger box stores. So it's tough out there, and I get it. Anybody else remember when Cloth World was sold to Joann's? And never heard of Cloth World. But, well, maybe I have, because I heard some other YouTubers talk about Cloth World. in connection to this Joanne situation. So, Judy Hebert says, I hope they can make it. If they don't, then we will only have Michael's and Hobby Lobby left. LQ shops. Oh, local quilt shops are struggling as well. I think everybody's struggling, quite honestly. This is the post-pandemic world reality, though. Unfortunately. So, I think I'm going to make more of an active effort to help local quilt shops instead of going to my usual spots. When I can, that is. Okay. Cutie Fabrics, Quilting Supplies, Joann's with Fabrics are going to only quilt shops now. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to join you on that, Donna. I'm going to try my best. Although, I will admit, it is very attractive when you got a big box discount store selling fabric, the same fabric for a little bit of cheaper price. It's tempting, and it's hard. Katie Craft says Cloth World and Hancock's fabrics were better for sewers. Joanne seems to be a craft store combined with a dollar store. Interesting observation. Never thought of it that way. And Steve Norma Kaufman says they closed the store near me and opened a new one about 1.5 years ago. It is a better location. Okay. So maybe they're making some taking a look at locations and making some real estate decisions on that. That's a good sign. House of Fine Fabrics was part of Joann's. That's Remo J. And Kimber says, I loved Hancock's, but the store by me was awful. The clerks were picky about who they waited on, didn't keep up with sales, didn't honor coupons. Oh, that's sad. That is really sad. It's one thing if the business management is bad, but if the staff there is kind of rude and not knowledgeable, I can understand that can be very frustrating sometimes. Donna Hoffler says, I always shop local. I do not do any Amazon for anything. I'm going to try, Donna. Yeah. A lot of the stuff I'll be honest. A lot of the things that I do get from Amazon, I can't find locally. So like camera equipment, we don't have a camera shop here in Los Angeles, or not that I know of. And believe me, I tried. But a lot of the camera equipment that I do use, there's not a lot of stores that carry it. And in fact, I couldn't find any stores at one point. So certain things I will go to Amazon for, but if I can buy it locally at a craft store, or if I can buy it at a quilt shop, I'm going to look at that first. So, and Jim Bennett says, I buy online. My nearest craft store is almost 30 miles away. Ooh, yeah. I feel that one, Jim. You're excused. Walmart is also downsizing their fabric selection. I've noticed that too, Melster. A lot of their stores, I guess they're not selling as many fabrics, or maybe it's harder to get their fabrics. I don't know. But my local Walmart, one of them just totally got rid of their whole craft section. So they don't even have a craft section there. So, all right. Oops, sorry if I'm yelling in the microphone. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. And I think some people have been waiting for me to make this announcement. So the quote behind me that you see there, I wanted to do it as a sew along, but since it's based off of a pattern and it's not my personal pattern, I can't really do like a tutorial style video on this quote here. But I know some people were interested in kind of doing a sew along type of thing. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay. This quilt is actually, let me switch cameras here. Whoops. Okay, so I did talk about this particular ruler way back when. And I do know that quite a few people actually bought this particular ruler, but they either never used it or I don't know, who knows. They just kind of bought it and put it aside for now. So here's what we're gonna do. I have this ruler. This ruler I use to make the quilt behind me. I also purchased this book here. Okay. Again, I wanted to do this as somewhat of a quilt along, but I can't do it publicly out there on YouTube because, again, this is not my pattern. Now, the company that I made this purchase from is called So Kind of Wonderful. Here, I'll hold up the book. So this is the name of the company. And they make this booklet. It's a pattern booklet that actually shows you how you can make various quilts using this ruler. Okay, this is what they call their QCR mini ruler. If you've been following the Treasure Heart Creations 52 Weeks, 52 Blocks series, it was block number 4 where we did the clamshell, in which you saw me demonstrate how to use this ruler. Now, So Kind of Wonderful, the company, they actually have their own YouTube channel where they demonstrate how to use this template ruler. What I am proposing to do then is, if you have this ruler and if you have the pattern booklet, we can all do a monthly Zoom call to make this quilt behind me. Let me just pull it down. So if you're interested in doing sort of like a Zoom where we can all sew or make our own versions of this quilt, that's what I'm proposing. So it'll be a once a month call, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, where all of us can just kind of be on Zoom, just working on this quilt together. Now, because I know some people wanted to do something or something similar of that nature. Now, whoops. Okay, so again, this is the QCR mini ruler. The name of the company is there. Well, that's really small. That's So Kind of Wonderful. You can also get the pattern booklet, which is Many Wonderful Curves. Okay, and the quilt that I will be doing is in here. It's actually this quilt here, which is called Breezy Day. I wasn't quite I wasn't quite impressed with the colors that they chose on this sample, so that's why I went with my own with the purple and the white. But okay, so if you want to join, again, this is something totally voluntary, but if you're interested in something like that, please send me an email. I can send you, again, it's something where we can do like a monthly Zoom on a weekend, maybe once a month, where all of us can just be working on the same project. Now, let me get one thing straight. This Zoom call is not a class, so it's not me instructing everybody out there. Think of it more like a, how would you say? Maybe a retreat of some sort, or a Zoom retreat, because again, I'm not going to be teaching you how to use the ruler. Now again, So Kind of Wonderful has their own YouTube channel where they will teach you how to use, they will teach you how to use this ruler. So I'm not going to be doing that, so to speak. But if you've never sewn curves before, this is actually a very great ruler to get exposed to how to do the technique or how to sew curves. And I understand that, you know, it's always easier to learn something new when you got a bunch of people all trying it for the first time too. So yeah, if you're interested again, send me an email. You do have to show me a proof of purchase that you do have the ruler as well as the booklet though. And again, it's not gonna be a class. It's not me instructing everyone out there. So I'm not going to be teaching the class. I'm just going to be hosting the Zoom, and we can all kind of just chit chat together. If we do have questions, maybe, or if we are having issues trying to create the blocks, you know, we can all answer or help each other out. But again, it's not an instructive class to it. Okay. Now, if you are, maybe you want to join the Zoom, but you don't necessarily have the template or can't afford the template, you can join the Zoom. Again, just understand that I'm not answering question, or I'm not instructing it's not a class basically. So it's just a time for us to kind of get together. Maybe we can all be working on the same project. Maybe we have different projects, or we're using, I don't know, maybe you want to try and do a different pattern from the booklet. So it's just an idea, but if you're interested in that, you can send me an email. I can then send you the information on how to join the Zoom. Okay. Now this Zoom is not going to be advertised on the Facebook group, and it's only going to be by invitation only. Yeah. So I don't know, is that something that people are interested in? Because I do know that when I talked about this ruler, people did buy it. And they were some people were kind of waiting for me to actually do something like this for it. So here it is. Okay, but if you got questions, we probably won't start this until maybe early April. But if you got questions, again, send me an email. If you need me to clarify what we're going to be doing, send me an email. If you're interested and you have the book and the template, you know, and you want to join the Zoom, send me a picture of the book. Well, send me proof that you got the two, and then I can send you the Zoom information when we get everything set up for that. So I hope that all made sense, because that was totally unrehearsed, and I probably botched it somewhere. So I saw that the chat was going crazy, so let me scroll back a little bit. Candy Grub 6 says, all we have in our town is a Walmart, TSC, I'm not sure what that is, and L&M, one tiny craft store, one tiny quilt store, and one small fabric shop. Aw, Candy. Well, support that one small craft shop or that one tiny fabric store, because they probably need your support. June Hansen says, a Joann store is 2.5 hours away from me. Wow, okay. So I guess, June, maybe the Joann's shutting down might not make a big difference to you. I'm guessing. Kimber says, I noticed that a local Walmart a couple of weeks ago. Oh, okay. I think I read that. Candy Grub 6 says, ours just got rid of their fabric section too. Ooh. I'm assuming she's talking about Walmart. And Vera Week says, the Walmart stores near me don't have anyone to cut fabrics. It takes 15 minutes for someone to come help. Yeah, that often happened at the local Walmart here, which I think was a good decision for them to just get rid of that, because nobody was manning it anyway. So, yeah. And Kim is saying, same here, Vera. Candy Grub 6 says, I just used my Drunkard's Path template to make that. Ooh, okay. Judy Hubert's asking, when would we do that? I have the rulers and would need to get the book. I don't have an exact date, Judy, but we'll probably do it maybe starting well, don't quote me on this, but I'm thinking the first week, maybe like a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, and starting in April, definitely, so that we give more people time to, if they don't have the ruler or the book, if they want to join in, they have time to purchase it. And Remo J says, I have both, mean people. Okay. And she says she's interested. Okay. Hey, Mona. Kimber says, I have 2 Drunkard's Path template pairs. Okay. And okay, Cat F is asking, when I did the clamshell block, I had to find a plate the right size since I didn't have the ruler. Okay, so that's one way to get around it. And Joyce Hernandez says, where can I get the ruler and the book? Joyce, if you go, the company is called, again, let me switch the cameras to the overhead. Sorry. So the book is called Many Wonderful Curves. The company is called So Kind of Wonderful, in which if you just go sokindofwonderful.com, that you can purchase this book, as well as, again, this is the QCR Mini ruler. Now, don't get this ruler mixed up with, because there is a QCR, a larger size ruler. This one that I made the quote with is actually the QCR Mini. Okay, so okay, and then hello, Janice. Okay, Donna Huffler says, I understand Walmart is getting rid of craft departments in some stores and fabrics in some stores. Okay, I thought it was just here locally, but I guess maybe they're doing it across the country. Jackie says, the bigger Walmart near us only has pre-cut fabrics. Anything else has to be ordered online. Interesting. Walmart's going into a different crafting strategy then. Okay. Just ordered ruler and book. I'm all set. Okay, Bonnie. Okay, and Judy Hubert says, I will have to double check my ruler. Might just have the large. Okay. Okay, so again, if you're interested in doing the Zoom with the So Kind of Wonderful, sorry, I keep having to switch between there. Okay, so if you're interested in doing the Zoom, send me an email. We'll get started sometime early April. And then, again, that Zoom information is not going to be advertised on Facebook. It's only going to be by email invitation only. So if you're interested in joining us, hey, send me an email. And the email is going to be in the description to this video when it goes, or when the replay goes on live. Or if you can't, or if you want to, let me just put it on there. Hello, Eric. Treasure Heart Creations at gmail.com. There we go. So I just had the bot put in the email. Okay, let's get to sewing some strings. Wow. I've been chit-chatting a lot, so I need to make a complete at least one. So I was actually sewing these, or started these. Do, 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 do. Yeah, sometimes when I look through that bin, I feel like I'm shopping for scraps. You guys ever feel like that? Okay. But yeah. Okay, here we go. So whenever I do string blocks or work on scraps like this, I work them 2 at a time. And I use newspaper because it's free. I know some people use telephone book paper, in which, thank you very much. You know who you are. You gave me a whole telephone book. So I have kind of an endless supply of foundation paper. Once I get through all of this newspaper that I pre-cut. Does anyone else do string blocks? Okay, I am starting to have some repeats. Oh, there it, no. Let's see. Let's dump out the smaller pieces. You know what? I'm just going to use this. Because this is a leftover from a mistake. Actually, this technically is not even a string. What is it doing in there? Good night, Joyce. Thanks for stopping by. Suzanne Taylor is asking, what size are you making tonight? These are 6.5 inches. Okay, why did I choose 6.5 inches? Well, for one thing, this ruler is 6.5 inches. So I find it's easier for me to just make string blocks when it is this size. I know some people go 12.5 inches. Some people do 9.5 inches because, again, it's dependent upon what rulers they have. June Hansen says she does string blocks. Okay. And Donna Hoffler says, I have sewn string blocks, but do not use a foundation, just sew to each other. Oh, okay. Donna, do you find that if you don't use a foundation, like I used to do that, but the strings would like stretch and get distorted after a while? So I started using at least, well, now I'm using newspaper, but having some foundation, at least for me, kind of prevents the block from getting really distorted after a while. Kimber says me, and I have 2-inch thick stacks of paper for foundations. Ooh, that's a lot of foundation there, Kim. Jim Bennett says, also do a lot of just scrap blocks. Okay, and Vera Weeks says, I just finished doing some string blocks this weekend. I used muslin for the base. Okay, Gayla Walters says, I have been using only the adding machine tape. I am just starting to build my string bin. Okay. Have fun with that, Gail. Oh, sorry, Gayla. Mona says, I do mine on batting. I haven't tried the paper. I used to, oh, well, I used to do it on batting and then would just make like mug rugs out of it. But since I started using these for actual quilts, I kind of switched to the paper. I should mention, and some people have seen me do this, or I think I may have shared this on a previous video, but dryer sheets. You know, I got a stack of these dryer sheets, and probably once the paper goes away, and if I don't want to cut the phone book paper, I do know for a fact that some people use dryer sheets as their backing or as their foundation, which kind of does work. So that's another idea for those of you who have a lot of laundry that you do every day. If you use a lot of laundry dryer sheets, hey, save them. Okay, I never thought to sew paper. I do that onto adding machine tape paper though. I feel like paper makes blocks lay way flatter. It can help, Candy. Yes, it can help. Jackie says, when I lose my sojo, I make string blocks. I hear you there, girl. And Donna says, no, Eric, I do not have a problem. Guess I'm super careful. You know, one of the things, one of the things I learned about my sewing is that I do have a tendency of actually stretching things. Oops, I just pulled the string or just pulled the paper off, but that's okay. When I'm feeding the fabric through the sewing machine, I thought I was just guiding it, but it turns out that I'm actually stretching the fabrics. So, which is partially something I need to work on. Okay. You know what's interesting when I work with crumbs or when I do string blocks like this and I'm like going through my bin of scraps. When I look at the fabric like this, I'm kind of reminded of certain things. Like I remember the quilt that this, or I remember the shirt that this actually came from. Sometimes it's a good memory, sometimes it's not so much of a good memory, sad to say. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to plop this right here because I know it'll cover it. And I don't know what to do with this piece as a crumb, so I'm just going to go with it. We'll do that. Oh, Christmas fabric. Can't believe I still have that. Okay. I do want to finish this. At least on the live. So I can say I accomplished something on the live today. You know, sometimes we get so carried away just reading comments and having discussions with everybody out there that we forget we need to sew. Clip. Okay. Okay, that'll fit there. And then I'm just going to throw this one here. Okay. Now, if you're a beginner quilter, sewing string blocks like this, it's a good way to practice your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And what am I doing with these? I don't know. I need one small bit right there. This should be big enough. Yeah, that's definitely big enough. Okay. Got that. Got that. Ooh. Okay, let me scroll back up a little second. So Bonnie Dieger says, anyone from Wisconsin here looking for fellow quilters? If not, if this is not allowed, I'm sorry. That's okay, Bonnie. Hey, Carol. She says she also uses muslin as her foundation. Janice Vanderstack says, I do string blocks with backing and batting, then trim to size I want. Jackie says, I make mine 8 or 10 inches, then I can make placemats or pot holders with them. A lot of super good ideas, guys, if you need some ideas as to what to do with strings. Judy Hebert says, I have a lot of old coloring books and telephone books. Once I go through those, I guess I will move on to dryer sheets. Okay. Well, there you go, Bonnie. Candy Grub6 says, Wisconsin here, but on my way north, if that matters. Oh, okay. Kim Burris says she's used muslin and old sheets as foundations too. Hello, Miss Claudette Bettis. How are you? And Donna Hoskins says, Eric, someone donated wash away stabilizer to me and I have been using it. Haven't washed it yet. Fingers crossed it works. Okay. You know, I never did try wash away stabilizer either. Well, never had the need to actually use that, but you know, there's something therapeutic about actually pulling out the paper too. Although it is, well, sometimes it can be a nuisance when you have a project that you need to use these for, but yeah, sometimes I just sit in front of the TV and just peel the paper away. And Vera Weeks is asking, so you tear out the dryer sheet or just leave it in? It's, Vera, it's actually thin enough that I can just leave it in and, well, it'll make the quilt smell downy fresh. Put it that way. But yeah, if I do use like one of these dryer sheets, I just leave it. See, Candy Grubsick, Grubisic. Oh gosh, I totally butchered your name. I'm sorry. I should use my roll of newsprint I got from the print shop for sewing onto. You can usually get those for free too. And Kimber says, I got 4 bushel boxes and 2 30-gallon totes sorted this weekend. Wound up with 1 bushel box full of fabric for a friend in South Missouri. Oh, wow, that's a lot of fabric. This is stress-free sewing. Yes, Donna. Sometimes we need a little bit of that. So let me trim this down. Get out my little... You know, I'm glad I bought this turntable with the cutting mat because this has turned out to be very, very handy in some situations like this. So, trim there. Turn. Trim that. Turn. Trimming here. Whoops. Although I wish it was a little bit bigger. Okay, this turned out to be a little crooked, but that's okay because it still ends up being 6.5 inches. Oh, that didn't cut very well there. Did I get all of it? Nope. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, let's press this flat. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. And sometimes when I get cut off pieces like this, if it's big enough, I will pull it apart like that. And I will throw these in my crumb bin, because I do need more crumb blocks too. Oh, there's a big piece. And the rest of this, I'm just going to throw it in a pillowcase. One day it'll turn into a pillow stuffing. Okay, let me get this one off. Oh, knocked my light out of the way. And I can trim this one down too. The joys of making string blocks. The strings in the machine go so. What am I singing? Oh, I should share this story with you guys. You'll get a kick out of this. So I had a friend of mine who is also a quilter. She was given the task of making, what did she say? A flag of some kind of sewn banner. So she was sorry. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. So I had a friend of mine. She is a quilter. She's trying to help her son's band to create this humongous banner out of fabric. Now, they want to make this banner about half this. I mean, it's going to be huge. So they said they wanted to do it half the size of a football field. So again, she's a quilter. And she, I couldn't believe she asked me this question. So they need it to be, again, half the size of a football field. Her question to me was, can you help me calculate how much yardage we need to make it, at least lengthwise, half the size of a football field? And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's think about this for a second. If a football field is 100 yards, half of it would be 50 yards. And that's what I told her. And she's like, yeah, so how many yards of fabric would I need for that to just make it half that football field length, at least the length? Can you help me calculate that? I'm like, aren't you a quilter? She's like, yeah, but I can't do that math. Okay. A football field is a total of 100 yards. Half of 100 yards is 50 yards. And then I asked her, how do you measure fabric? She goes, in yards. And it still didn't click on her. So I said, okay, so let's figure out how many yards is 50 yards. She literally got out a piece of paper, started doing a calculation, and I'm like, is it not downing on her? How many yards of fabric is 50 yards? She literally said, okay, so that's approximately, she calculated how much it was in inches. Then I said, okay, hold on a second. 50 yards of fabric, 50 yards is half of a football field. Then she went, oh, 50 yards of fabric. Then the light bulb went off. One of those moments where, I mean, she's a very smart woman, but sometimes she's a little too smart for her own good and kind of doesn't think. Okay. Okay, sorry, let me scroll back a little bit. So Jim Bennett says, been working on Easter spring quilt, a lot of raw edge sewing. And Claudette Bettis says she's doing just fine, working on a couple of baby quilts. Oh, okay. Okay, so Candy says her last name is Grubisic. Grubisic? Okay. You were doing fine. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was actually watching Ugly Betty, if you know the show. There was a character whose last name was Grubstick. So I thought it was reading Grubstick, so sorry about that. Janice Vandersteck says 11:30 here in North Carolina. I'm switching from my computer to TV to finish watching in bed. Okay. Well, thank you, Janice, for hanging in there. Oh gosh, it's 8:30, so we're not going to stay too long, or I'm not going to keep you guys too long. Jackie says I cut up a bolt of interfacing for the foundation. Paid $5 for the bolt. Wow. What's your secret, Jackie? Kimber says, I love my rotating mat. Whoops. And Kim says, I started with a small mat, then got a big 13-inch one from Fiskars. I use it all the time. Okay. And I see a lot of smiling faces, so I guess people got the story, or the gist of the story. And Candy says, an aha moment followed by, oh, what the heck was I thinking? Yep. Oh, short eye. Grubistic. Grubisic. Okay. I'm going to get it one of these days. I'm sorry. Okay, so it is a little over an hour. I try not to keep these on a weeknight for too long because I understand it is late for a lot of people on a weeknight, and some of us have to get early to get to work tomorrow. So I want to say thank you guys. Again, if there's any last minute questions about, or if you have any questions about the ruler, the pattern booklet, or if you want to join the live, or not the live, the Zoom call, send me an email to treasureheartcreations@gmail.com. When I get things organized, we'll send out the information with the Zoom link for those of you that want to join in on that. One thing, and hopefully I get this done tonight, but again, if you want to join the Zoom, we'll be working on this quilt. Or if you choose to do a different pattern, that's up to you. There is a story behind this quilt, in which I am working on, hopefully I get this video done tonight, or get through the editing of the video done tonight, so that it can go up on live, or it can go up to the YouTube channel later on this week. So stay tuned for the story behind this. And it'll be something embarrassing for me because, well, it's a very personal story of how I overcame. Okay. Also, again, please support Miss Sassy Steph. That's Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. She's getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so we want to push her over the edge to that. Hello, Miss Tiffany. How are you? Oh, Kim says chat is about 5 seconds ahead of you. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's usually 30 seconds or a full minute behind me. Okay. For those of who have used muslin for the foundation, how did you finish it? That's Vera asking, or Vera Weeks asking for that. Good night, Jim. Good night, Candy. Candy Grooby Sick. Is that better? All right, guys. Well, did anybody answer Vera? Okay, Kimber says, Vera, just stitch close the edge, stitch close to the edge to finish so it ends up inside the seam. So like doing a stay stitch around the perimeter. Hey, Mary. Hi and bye. Good night, Donna. Okay. Hi and bye. Okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Again, if you got questions about the Zoom or about this project, or actually about this project, send me an email. I'll get you the information. I'll try to answer the question as best as I can. Be looking forward towards the story behind this quilt that's coming up this week. Hopefully I'll get it done tonight. All right. Thank you guys for joining me here on the live tonight. I understand that we all have our busy lives and we have choices on who we follow on YouTube. And for some reason, you follow this weirdo on YouTube. I certainly appreciate you spending time with me here tonight. And I shall see you. I always say I might do an impromptu live on a weekend and then end up never doing it because something comes up. So I'm not going to say it this time. But yeah, there's a good chance it might actually happen this weekend. So, all right, everyone, have a great rest of the week. Again, thank you for joining me here tonight. And y'all know what I'm going to say. So let's all say it together. Let's all go out and let's create something. Mwah. Bye for now.